afternoon. My name is Donna Feazell, and I'm your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, channel 182 on Charter Communications Abundance Television, found on Roku, Apple TV, and Amazon Fire. You can also find us on our podcast, netnewsnetwork.net. So we appreciate all of those great forms that we're able to get to you. You can't get away from us if you tried, could you, AP? AP Steadham is with us right now. He's a talk show host and has his own shows, I might say. He's on radio and television as well. Good to see you, AP.
Hey, Donna, so good to be on your show. Thank you for having me. It's a beautiful day.
Oh, it's a gorgeous day outside. It's not raining. Did it rain your neck of the woods yesterday?
It rained some. It did. Yes, it did. Matter of fact, sure did.
We had kind of a flood here. So it was, it rained hard and just in just a few minutes as well, but we're okay. So today's a bright, sunshiny day making up for it. So what's going on in the world of sports today?
Yeah, Donna, last week I had a chance to be at the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame in Birmingham, Alabama. That was a fun event down there. They had 3 basketball players were inducted, Gerald Wallace from Childersburg and Theo Ratliff from Demopolis and Larry Keenan from Birmingham. He played in the ABA. People remember that ball with the red, white, and blue, Don. I don't know if you recall that. That was a great league. I used to love to watch that league. So and then that Roman Harper from Prattville played at Alabama in the NFL. Carlos Stansby played at Auburn. He's from Woodlawn High School. He was inducted as well. Jackie Sherrill, people know Jackie Sherrill. He played at Alabama, a couple of national championships, coached at Washington State, University of Pittsburgh, Texas A&M University, and Mississippi State University. And then Karen Mason Bonson was a golfer from the Mobile area. She was the first female scholarship golfer at LSU. And then after she finished, they named her coach. She coached LSU for 34 years. And a lot of championships, league championships, was in the NCAA tournament. So those are some of the people that were inducted into the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame. So, Donna, they bring back, let's say, 25, 30 of the former inductees as well. It must be, 700, 800 people for the banquet. And it was a lot of fun. And it's held at the Sheridan in Birmingham. And the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame was right across the street, essentially. And so it's a fabulous event.
Well, you and I interview people in all walks of life everywhere we go. It's just a gimme there. Yeah. But were you able to formally interview anybody?
Yes, I was able to interview everyone. I think it was 7 out of the 8 or 8 out of the 9 inductees. I didn't get to speak to Roddy White. He was slightly late that day. They were having the interviews. And then Mark Womack. Mark has been with the SEC office for in the neighborhood of about 45 years or so. And he's, I think, associate commissioner of the Southeastern Conference. So that was fun to speak with him. He was one of the honorees. They give out some distinguished awards, American sportsmen and distinguished sportsmen from Alabama. So I spoke to him and also Rick Carley from Channel 13. He was won the Mel Allen Award. So, yeah, I did get to speak to 8 or 9, 10 people on that Friday before the banquet and ceremony inductions on Saturday evening. So, yeah, it was fun.
What were some of the notable interviews you did? What were they saying?
Right, yeah. I think that most of the players, the inductees that I interviewed, the ones who played the sports, of course, Donna, they realized they didn't get to that position by themselves. They realized that their coaches, their family, their assistant coaches, their teammates, so they all were very generous in praising the people who supported them since they were children, playing all these various sports. And somebody like Karen Bonson, she was fortunate to be the first woman to be offered by LSU. There was an excitement when she was signing on with them. And of course, she talked about Alabama and Auburn, but she took herself over to Baton Rouge and she lived there ever since. She's been a resident of Baton Rouge and retired as a coach 34 years. And so all the coaches, players, like Jackie Sherrill, one of his first comments he would say, "I'm here because I had Hall of Fame players that made the College Football Hall of Fame, the Pro Football Hall of Fame. They were all conference, all FBC. Says I wouldn't be here without those players. The players he recruited." And then he would tell me an interesting story about how he recruited. And that's always fascinating to me. He said
Hmm.
He would always try to be in the home of the potential recruit, and he wanted to see how they treated their mother. How they treated their mother was real important to him because think about it, Tom. Many of the times, the homes that he was recruiting players was led by the mother. That's the head coach, right? The head coach of the family. So did that person react well to the coaching by the mother? So I thought that was an intriguing comment that he made about he wanted to be in the home of every player to see how that player interacted with his mother.
I think that's key too. I really do,
Yeah,
because you've got to be able to take criticism. You also have to be able to take praise just as well. And how
right.
you interact with the person who is actually raising you, that's your coach. That's your
That's your coach, right? That's your coach. So he was, and then he also stated that he learned from Coach Bryant because he played at Alabama for Coach Bryant. Coach Bryant would always tell him that I'm not your friend. I'm not your friend. I'm your coach. But he said after they played, then he could become their friend.
uh-huh.
And then he would seek his advice all the time. And he said, Coach Bryant would always tell you what he thought was the truth. You may not want to hear some of those words and some of that advice, but you could always call him and know that he would say the truth as he saw it from his perspective. So he was a valuable confidant through the years when he was alive and Jackie Sherrill was coaching these different teams.
Well, he wanted the best from them. I mean, you can't just tell people what they want to hear. I mean, you have to tell people, if something needs to be changed, tell them.
Yeah. So that I thought that was words of wisdom from Jackie Sherrill. And of course, he called Coach Bryant the greatest coach of all time. That got a big applause.
I got to agree with a lot of that, because I mean,
Yeah.
Coach Bryant was, even though I was an Auburn fan, he was a huge. I respected him big time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. So, but that's a nice event, Don. If you ever have a chance to attend, it's the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame, usually held this time of year, plus or minus a couple weeks. But it's a good event. And then, Donna, you can also, like I say, visit with all the former inductees too. 25 or 30 of them return that evening, and they're wearing their tuxedos and are introduced to the crowd. So they make them feel right at home and honor them every time they come back by announcing their name. And it's not only the inductees, it's the people who've been honored too with some of the awards. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and put it on next year's schedule. I
Yeah.
want to go.
Yeah. Yeah. You would enjoy it, Don. You really would. You'd see a lot of people. They come from everywhere. I mean, they came from all over the place to honor Jackie Sherrill because he coached so many different places around the country. A lot of Pittsburgh people were there. Texas A&M people, Mississippi State people. They came from far and wide, coast to coast. So that was nice. He filled up quite a few of the tables.
Yeah. So before I ask this question, I just wanted to say, I think whoever the best person is for the job, it doesn't matter whether they're a man or a woman or what. But I'm seeing a trend with more women coaches. I don't think you should be put in as a coach just because you're a woman, but I'm just saying the best person for the job. But women make pretty good coaches, don't they?
Yeah. Donna, women make good coaches. I would say this about coaching women, Don, having done that in the past, that if you better be accurate with your statement because they're going to try to do exactly what you said.
Uh-huh.
Where the men, sometimes they don't hear everything and they're going to deviate from your instruction. But the women, if you tell them walk 10 paces, they're going to walk 10 paces. I mean, they're very precise.
That's exactly how it is with Phil and me. I've just noticed our different management styles, and when we manage each other basically at the station. So when he tells me something, I take it literally. I mean, I'm thinking, okay, that's how it has to be done, because he knows the technical aspect of it much better than I do. And so I'm like, okay, yeah, you say to walk 10 paces, it'll be exactly 10. It won't be 11. It won't be 4. I mean, it'll be exactly what you say. But you're right. That's the design of women, I guess.
Yeah, I think in women and men, Donna, I think if you display some fairness with people, that become more confident in what you might tell them.
That's true.
If you have a sense of fairness in your management style, I think that's really important. If they feel that somebody's getting an advantage, then there's a tendency to not be as enthusiastic, I say, in following your direction. That's the way I would state it.
That's exactly true. I mean, and any manager I ever had, if I felt like they were not exactly, that's why I say a great coach, Saban, all of those, a great coach is essential to the team. Because if I feel like my manager, I worked with GTE, so if I felt my manager at GTE was all into it as much as I would listen to every single word he said. But then I had another manager once who was just kind of like, I felt like he was just using that job to go up to another job, just
Right.
and so I listened to him, and he was a pretty good manager, but not like the one I had previously.
Right. I think in a perfect world, Donna, and this relates to sports as well, if the player feels that you have their best interest, then they're going to give 100%. Mm-hmm. And vice versa. If the coach feels the player is giving 100%, that coach will be very enthusiastic about coaching that player. Mm-hmm. I mean, they'll be excited to see that player every day at practice. Mm-hmm. And they're going to rely on them in game situations with total confidence. Mm-hmm. So I think that's important in sports and coaching and management. Yeah. But anyhow, so, Donna, we have the SEC spring meetings are coming up. So that'll be the end of the month. So I'll be in Destin, Florida. That's a cool event because they have the presidents of the university, the 14 universities. Mm-hmm. They have the 14 athletic directors, 14 head football coaches, basketball, women's basketball. They have the bowls will be there, the Cotton Bowl, the Rose Bowl, the Sugar Bowl, Fiesta Bowl, Orange Bowl, and other bowls, Liberty Bowl, Peach Bowl. And then you have some of the sponsors there. Then you have the TV people. And Donna, that's on that Tuesday evening. We have a party at a pool right on the beach in Destin. Yeah, so it's kind of funny.
Somebody got to do it, don't they?
Somebody has to do it. Yeah, so you get to meet and talk to all types of people. Mm-hmm. And during the week they have meetings, so we'll see them walking around the hotel. We get a chance to interview them as well. So I'm really looking forward to that at the end of the month. But before, I'm not sure if we're coming up to our commercial break here, but another event I'll be attending this week is the Jimmy Rain Charity Golf event in Montgomery, Alabama.
Oh, let's talk about that. We do need to take a break. Thank you for reminding me. You know how I do. I start talking to you and I forget I'm there is time. So we'll be right back in just a minute. Everybody hang on. At Lamone's Mexican Restaurant, located in Henniger, Alabama, and voted Best Mexican Restaurant of DeKalb County, Alabama 2020, we're here to serve you with authentic Mexican cuisine. Order easily online by going to lamonsmex.com or call 256-657-3999 to place your order. We're open Sunday through Thursday, 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. and Friday and Saturday, 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Whether you're celebrating a cozy date night for two or a celebration for a crowd, at Lamone's you'll love our atmosphere and friendly servers. Thank you for dining with Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Let Rhonda at Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC take the burden off you for all your tax needs. I know because Rhonda has been taking care of my business since 2013. I feel Rhonda works for me because she knows the direct questions to ask to better benefit my unique business in order for me to get back the biggest refund possible. Rhonda is an ongoing student, and she knows tax laws are in a constant change every year. Call 256-281-9903 for an appointment to take the dread out of getting your taxes done. Rhonda is located at 11968 U.S. Highway 431 in Boaz. Again, that number is 256-281-9903. And let Rhonda's Elite Tax LLC champion your personal and business taxes. Jeff McCurdy of the McCurdy Law Firm has been a public service of this area for over 10 years. McCurdy, a member of the Henniger City Council, serves as prosecutor for the town of Sylvania and was named public defender for the city of Rainsville. The McCurdy Law Firm is located at 17326 Alabama Highway 75 in Henniger to better represent his Jackson and DeKalb County clients. If you need to be represented by a true public servant with proven success, call Jeff at 256-996-8701 or send a private email to mccurdylawfirm@gmail.com. No representation is made that the legal services performed is greater than the legal services performed by other lawyers. At Liberty Bank, we're all about community, whether it's to help with a charity fundraiser or help families in need. Toys at Christmas or a local football team, we're here for you. You see, we realize the importance of family. Sometimes it's to build a new home or necessary home repairs. We're here for you. If you like the feel of a small town bank with all the conveniences of a big city bank, we're here to serve you. You will find us at any of our convenient locations in DeKalb, Marshall, Etowah, and Blount counties in North Alabama. You can call and speak with any of our friendly staff at 256-659-2175 or check us out on the web at libertybankal.com. And thank you for your support of our community. Member FDIC Equal Housing Lender. The Hatter Cafe and Country Inn is nestled in the northeast corner of Alabama the Beautiful in the delightful town of Mentone. We're located on top of scenic Lookout Mountain near Little River and DeSoto State Park and located only 5 minutes from shopping and restaurants. There is also a nearby community walking path and golf course. We welcome everyone through the doors and we are committed to outstanding service for all guests. At the Hatter Cafe and Country Inn, we invite people from all walks of life to come and get away from it all, enjoy the open spaces, treetop views, fresh, clean air, and experience Southern hospitality at its finest. We look forward to hosting you. To reserve a special event, or if you would love a special getaway at the Country Inn, you can call us at 256-634-2018. Okay, we are back. My name is Donna, and I am your host of The Edge on IC Radio, your source for news and entertainment. You can also find us on television, Channel 182 on Charter Communications Abundance Television. We are syndicated, found on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire, and don't forget, you can also find us on another site. That's netsnewsnetwork.net. AP Steadham is with us right now. He also has a show, by the way, on Fridays here, Football Friday at 4. Of course, we talk about more than football, or you do, on this show as well. So how's everything going, AP and Kelly?
Yeah, going good. AP and Kelly, as we see it every Friday, right here on Football Fridays, 4 p.m. Central. So we have a lot of fun. Last week, Donna, we went deep into three teams. We spoke about South Carolina and Arkansas and Kentucky. And I think we'll probably continue that trend in the next month or so. We'll probably have some people on to go through various teams, but because, there's 14, and to deep dive on all of them, you probably have to put it in different segments because you can't do 14 long segments. There's not enough time in 1 hour. So, but yeah, we spoke about those three teams, South Carolina, Arkansas, and Kentucky. And so that was a lot of fun. I had a couple of people I didn't know. First time I ever met them actually was during the interview, Donna. I didn't know them. And Richard Davenport from Arkansas, Democrat Gazette, and then Dick Gabriel, he's from the Big Blue Insider, and he's also the sideline radio reporter for Kentucky Football Network. And then my friend David Cloninger from the Charleston Post-Courier. So I know David quite a while. David's a character, and so we had fun discussing all the three teams and some of the strong points, some of the places where there's big question marks, and it has yet to be determined. And Donna, that's the most fun, really, when you're looking at a team before the season. You're trying to figure out, can this team really challenge or have a better record? Can they make some improvements? Can they, like for instance, challenge Georgia in the East? Can they challenge let's pass your LSU in the West? And you're wanting to see if they'll rebound. And we know that Georgia's going to be good down there because they have excellent recruiting through the years, and they have talent. And then LSU, the second year with Brian Kelly, I'm intrigued to see what he's going to do, because now this is his quarterback that will be in the second year of the system. Jaden Daniels transfer from Arizona State. So, and I think something interesting about LSU, Donna, he makes a point of keeping track of every high school football player in the state of Louisiana that has left the state to play at a different school. So if they're interested in transferring back, he wants to strongly consider them if he feels they have the talent to come back and play at LSU. But I thought that's interesting that he makes a note of that, and he spreads that word to all these players that, hey, we'll welcome you back if we think you're talented enough. Come back to LSU.
How important do you think it is? Okay, we'll just use Alabama. Roll Tide. So let's use them for an example. So how important is it, do you think, to have your players being actually from the state of Alabama, other than sourcing out anywhere else?
Right. Yeah. That's a good point, John. I don't know. There's something about playing for your home state.
Mm-hmm.
It means more to you because
so
your family's around. I think it's something subconscious, Donna. I don't think you're consciously saying, gee, I ran faster during practice today because I'm from the state of Alabama, or I'm from the state of Louisiana. But I think subconsciously you're thinking in your mind, you want to represent your state and your family. I'm not saying someone cannot come from another place, but I just think that every day you're thinking about your family. It's a motivation subconsciously that you're representing your state, your community. Yeah, I think there is something to that, Donna. I really do.
Now, you had mentioned another event before we went into break.
Right.
Talk about that for a minute.
Yeah, Donna, this week is the Jimmy Rain charity golf event, and they have a banquet this Thursday, and it must be, I think, 700 to 1,000 people at the banquet. The speaker will be Terry Bradshaw. People are familiar with the former Louisiana Tech, Pittsburgh Steeler, 4-time winning Super Bowl quarterback. And he's now on TV as a analyst and commentator, and he's quite a character. So we're all interested. So when he gets up to the podium, he's going to speak to the audience. But Jimmy does a great job with his charity. He started out down giving one scholarship. Imagine that, one scholarship, and then all of a sudden now it's going to be 50 scholarships. Went from 1 to I think 50 now, which is phenomenal, right? To get one scholarship, now you're at 50. So it's a great event. It's in Montgomery, Alabama, at the Renaissance Hotel, and they bring in 70 celebrities, personalities down it. And see that I think I lost it. Did I lose you?
I can hear you, but it looks like I'm about to lose you as far as you're kind of steady. I'm not seeing you move around, but I can hear you talk.
Oh, there we go. I'm back. Yeah. There it is, Donna. Can you see me now? Yeah, I'm back. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I had to tap on the phone from time to time. I don't know why it does. We'll have to figure that out. Why that does that. We'll figure that out. But yeah, so it's a great event. He brings in 70 different types of people, approximately, Donna. Imagine that. He'll bring in Bo Jackson and from Auburn, and Buck Bellew from Georgia, and different coaches and former players from around the country. So you get to see all those people as well. It's a great event.
I think it's wonderful. I've listened to Terry Bradshaw speak, and he's entertaining. I'm going to tell you that he is.
Right. Oh, yeah.
But almost every time I've heard him speak, he has to mention Phil Robertson, and so he'll say, he could have been somebody fabulous. I mean, he could have, but he couldn't quit fishing and hunting long enough to play football. Right.
Yeah. So that's interesting. But yeah, Terry, Donna, he is a wild card. You do not know what he might discuss. I'm sure he's going to make people laugh.
Oh, he will.
But when he gets up to that podium on the Thursday evening, and they're listening with great anticipation to the subject matter that he'll present to the audience, I don't know what he's going to say.
Yeah, but you know what he does? Every time I've heard him speak, people are laughing before as he's walking up the podium. I mean,
Yeah,
as he's walking up there, I mean, he's just funny. I mean, he's just very entertaining. I love to listen. And I'll have to tell you, a good speaker does that. And,
yes.
they get your attention right off the bat, even walking up to the podium.
Yeah, the reputation he has is preceded him for sure. And he's always smiling and kidding people, and he's not afraid to say what's on his mind. I've interviewed him several times. I was with him at the Super Bowl down this past February
Uh-huh.
in Phoenix, and so we had a chance to visit before the game itself. They let us interview all the announcers and commentators for the ball game. So yeah, I definitely had to go speak to him and ask him a few questions. And he's always forthright and funny. And if he thinks somebody's not up to par or somebody's shortchanging the game, or he'll mention it. He doesn't back off from his opinions.
And I like that. I like the
That's
candor.
great.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we've had emails sent about, of course, Tennessee. It seems
Yeah.
like we get more questions about
Well,
Tennessee. So let's talk about them for a minute.
they should be excited. I was trying to go over a list out of potential Heisman Trophy candidates, and I'm thinking if Joe Milton III has a great year as a quarterback at Tennessee,
Uh-huh.
and they play Georgia at home in November, and if they can have, let's say, one loss and go into that Georgia game or be undefeated, beat Georgia, win that SEC East, he could be a top candidate. He could have a trip to New York, and that's coming quite a way because at Michigan he was a starter and lost his position. Came to Tennessee, lost that position. Now he should be the starter. So that would be a great journey of a roller coaster, the quintessential roller coaster, right? At two places, right? You're starting, you lost your starting position. Tennessee, you're starting, you lost it, now you're back. I mean, that's quite a journey. And like I say,
a lot of powerhouses in the South, though. I mean, Tennessee is quite the powerhouse now, and of course Georgia, Alabama, Auburn. We got to work on Auburn a little bit, but So let's talk Auburn we've got less than 2 minutes left in this segment.
Yeah.
What does Auburn need to do to redeem themselves?
Yeah, Donna. Auburn's looking for a wide receiver. They have to upgrade that position because the quarterback can throw the ball. You have the receiver that catches the football, but you're wanting to have players who can make yards after they catch. If you throw the ball 10 yards, you want to get 15, 20 yards. You want to have somebody who's elusive or can break a tackle. Either he has the speed or the moves or both to make the defender miss. And so you don't have to drive the field, with 10 yards, you're driving the field down it. That means you have to have you can't make any mistakes. Okay. So it takes a lot out of your offense if you have to keep driving the field. You don't have any big explosive plays. Explosive plays, passing is, let's say, over 15 yards. Running is over 10. So you want some explosive plays from your running backs and from your wide receivers, so it can make it easier on your offense. Where if you have a mistake, you can redeem yourself in the next couple plays to make a first down, let's say. But if you have to have the receivers, don't have the speed, they can catch the football. Every receiver down there, they must catch the football. If you catch the football and fall down, but you have to make the catch. But they're looking for some playmakers at the wide receiver position, Auburn. Yeah.
I think they'll do better this year.
They probably will. They're in the spoiler category for me. Yeah, they're in the spoiler category for me right now, Doc. I mean, they could upset some people. Yeah.
Hey, Pete, thank you so much for being on the show today. We've got to go with time flies when you're on the show. So thank you again so much for being on, and have fun this weekend.
Okay, thank you, Donna. Every 4 p.m. Football Friday, 8 p.m. Kelly, as we see it.
Absolutely. Great show. Thank you for watching. We'll have to call it a day. We'll be back in just a few minutes with another awesome guest as well. Bye, AP.
Bye now.